Welcome in or welcome back. We are back with another hands video. Handsy video. Hands here. So we've got November goals to go over, a battery update to go over, and then a recap of October, which I have to admit was just disastrous. October was disastrous for me, and I can get in a little bit to why. But you'll notice here 5,000 words on the novel I'm working on, one short story, one flash fiction, one poem, one essay, revise a poem, and revise a short story. These goals here are drastically lower than last month's goals as far as writing is concerned. And we'll get to that. I want to apologize a little bit. I'm having a bit of asthma difficulty, so my breathing's going to be off. But so those are the writing goals. The fitness goals: 30 miles running, 10 workouts, 25 consecutive dips, bench 295, deadlift 350, and those are 1 rep. So I'm trying to work up the actual amount that I'm lifting, and then run a sub 9-minute mile, which I understand isn't the greatest of goals. Like, that is not pressing for many people. I'm a big fat ass, so that's going to be it's going to take a little bit of work to get there. Right now, most of my miles end up around the 10-minute mark. So really, I think I could get there pretty easy just by pushing it. I want to learn 3 words of Spanish, 3 words of French, 3 words of German, as far as education goals go, as well as finishing Under the Volcano, Stardust, and Notes from Underground. Those 3 goals will probably look very familiar, and there's a terrible reason for that. I also want to read the William Blake wiki entry. I know that Wikipedia is not the greatest place to get knowledge, but it's normally fairly good, especially for sort of historical events, the order of actions, the sort of the general interest stuff is normally pretty good for that, as well as at least sort of educating yourself on the opinions that are out there. And the sources at the bottom of a Wikipedia article are normally pretty good as well. Now, I'm doing that because I'm taking on Strip Cover Lit, a really, really big William Blake project. It's going to be, it's something that could keep me busy for a very long time, but not ultimately busy. I mean, I need to, what I need to do is I need to come up with a formula for those episodes such that I can go into this project with my focus narrowed, but my eyes open to the different ways that these poems can go while following a similar structure. And I think that's going to give the ultimate payoff that I can give on a project such as that. As for financial goals, I make an investment once a month. At least once a month. I did it twice last month because the opportunity for overtime didn't pop up, but was sort of forced upon me. So I did that twice last month. Update portfolio, which is something that I do in an Excel spreadsheet. And then I paste part of it onto my yearly goal sheet so that I can kind of track what I'm doing or how I'm doing month by month. And I want to identify, overpay student loans and identify 1 growth stock. Those are the financial goals. As far as Strip Cover Lit, post 12 videos, shoot 16 videos, spend 30 minutes on an idea bank, 30 minutes planning. I need to get a structure back for the channel. I have lost structure on the channel. This is an hour and a half at least. I want to focus on, in 30-minute chunks, on a project called Y. Bukowski that I posted a video to the Strip Cover Lit Patreon in October which will provide some structure towards that, not really documentary, but at least a video. I want to spend an hour and a half on the my 25 favorite novel series. I want to spend an hour on a video that I'm sort of working on called The Magic of Said. I want to spend an hour on What is Lit. And then this is, what was that, 2.5 hours on just composing the William Blake series, as well as 30 minutes on Who Was Ernest Hemingway. I want to prep one Shirley Jackson short story, and I want to script one Emily Dickinson video. In a similar fashion to going through William Blake, I want to go poem by poem through Emily Dickinson, but Emily Dickinson being my favorite poet, I also want to do something special for it. And I have a few things in mind, but I really need to focus on getting a formula for that show as well. And one of the things that I am wanting to do for that series is something that's going to take a good deal more editing than I have done to this point on any of my channels. Well, either of my channels. So YouTube Dark. An hour and a half on voice work, 30 minutes on profiles, 2 1-minute B-roll clips, and an hour and a half on scripts. Again, just like last month, I'm not going to really go into what that is. Those are not secret projects. That sounds too nefarious. But just different stuff I want to work on. And then for this channel, I want to post 12 videos, shoot 15 videos. 3 of those videos I want to do for the Meditations series, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I want to do 2 episodes of Cosmo questionnaires, because those are fun for me. 2 episodes of Ask Adrian Anything, so if you have any questions for the Ask Adrian Anything series, let me know. 2 episodes of Current Events, which those are doing pretty well for me. It is different being able to... I've never really used any platform that I have to talk about current events, whether that is Twitter or way back when I had a Facebook or Instagram or Strip Cover later this channel. But I got into it a little bit in September, and I kind of like it. I like having my my own opinion on things and being able to share it. And I get a lot of feedback oftentimes with those as well, which is nice. One story time episode, one of 20 episodes with end screens should get me just about to the whole channel having end screens, which is something that it's important to keep up on. I want to do 30 minutes on an idea bank for this channel. I want to ideate one new series, and I want to do 1 episode of a Leonardo da Vinci read-along for the Leonardo da Vinci biography by Walter Isaacson, which his biography of Einstein is grade A stuff if you haven't read that. So I'd like to get into that Leonardo biography and do a read-along on this channel for that. Tasking goals, got to clean the kitchen, got to deep clean the kitchen, deep clean the bathroom, get an oil change, spend some time on my truck bed, and clean out the truck, which are normally spring-type goals, spring cleaning. But here it is, the beginning of winter. So, we'll do the daily battery first. I have to admit, I completely fell off last month. There were probably only 10 days or so that I actually hit my battery for the month. And what I do with the battery is I take these goals that I've set and I sort of say, you know, if I do these things every day, I should get pretty close to checking off all those goals. And I only did that. I started last month pretty strong, and only I didn't get very far. A lot of it was, at one point I worked 18 out of 19 days. I think I only had 4 days off in the entire 31-day month, which that's no excuse, but it tore me up. So if I 60 ounces of water, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 200 words, 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes production being work on channels. Look at monthly goals and look at yearly goals. These will help, these bottom two, that'll help keep me focused. I lose focus very often a quarter of the way through the year, through the goal setting year, all the way through the 3/4 way through. And I'll put my nose down and I'll get to work. But I really lose focus because I lose track of what my goals were. So it's going to help me, I think, to look at those things every day. Just look at them. It's just a couple minutes. It takes a couple minutes to pull those documents up, look at them, read them through, and have a better understanding of not only where I'm at, but where I wish to be. Because it's easy to forget goals when you're not looking at them. Again, 200 words, 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes production. Those are small time. There's going to be a lot of days where I have to do a whole lot more than 30 minutes reading or write a whole lot more than 200 words. But as long as I'm touching on all three of those areas, channel work, education work, writing work, work as an author, I'm not going to get too far out of focus with them. That's what happened to me last month. You can see here, this was the list we went over last month. The highlighted things, those are the only things I got done. Now, obviously, I did go to the gym a few times, but I didn't get all 10, so that's not done. I think I ran 17 miles, but I didn't get 30, so that's not done. I started work on a short story. I didn't finish any. I started work on a flash fiction. Didn't finish any. I don't know how many poems I started. Didn't finish any. So they don't count as complete. So this is where, again, see the little color next to the goal. That tells you the facet of life that goal, for which that goal is set. So, for example, that orange there is my personal channel. This light blue here is writing. The medium blue, that's strip cover lit. The dark blue is education. Green, obviously, for money. This is where color coding those things really, really, really helps me. At the end of this month, when I highlight all the things I did, and I look back, and one single goal in writing was accomplished. 0 goals in strip cover lit were accomplished. That really tells me I have to refocus. I have to figure out why it is or how it is that I am avoiding these things and how to correct that. So the color coding really helps me. So I wrote an essay called Grab a Beer that was posted to the Strip Cover Lit Patreon. It's about Charles Bukowski. I did a set of 20 consecutive dips. I benched 375. I deadlifted 315. Here's another thing I've got to do. I have to understand that just because something is not heavy to me does not mean it isn't a lot of weight. That deadlift, I haven't deadlifted since the pandemic started, which means I haven't deadlifted since February. Getting a rep in at 5 reps. I did 5 reps with 315. It felt really, really good. Deadlifts are one of those things that feel therapeutic every time you do them. It felt really good until the next goddamn day. While and whereas deadlifts feel really therapeutic, they're also extremely unforgiving. I am someone who is prone to imbalances. I am prone to swiveling my right hip forward so that when I'm standing straight up, my hips will be tilted this way, my hips will be tilted this way. My back twists so my hips twist this way, my back twists that way. And almost everyone has some imbalances. But when you're doing that, and deadlifts really straighten you out so long as you pay attention to form. If you don't pay attention to form, you will screw yourself up with deadlifts. So I try to pay attention to form. And what that means is, as I'm doing deadlifts, the more deadlifts that I do, the more correct my posture will become. I work my hips back straight. I work my back out straight. But getting back into it, when you start with too much weight, whether it's heavy or not, when you start with too much weight, what you end up doing is putting different stressors on muscles that are not ready for that work. And you get really sore. So my entire body got sore from that. But yeah, this is it. This is what I got done last month. These are the goals for this month. And this is the plan to get there. I would love to know in the comments section what some of your goals are. What would your daily battery look like if that is something that you choose to do for yourself? And which of your goals from last month did you get around to accomplishing?